Mhm. All right, everybody, we're going to just hop right onto it again. Severe weather coverage, part two. All right, so we got storms rapidly developing in north central Nebraska, northeastern Colorado, and a tornado warning in Missouri. Let's go ahead and hop down to the tornado warning in Missouri. So looked at this earlier, definitely some rotation just to the east of La Plata. So it has broadened out a little bit, but definitely still rotation in here. If you are south of Adena, I would be in your safe place, lowest level of your home possible, or interior room of the building. This would be southeast of Kirksville in Missouri. All right, we'll jump over into north central Nebraska. This is still pretty far out into the sand hills. So this is just south of Ainsworth, Nebraska. We're looking back down to quarter size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. Did have 2-inch size hail earlier. So we do have a report out here for 57-mile-an-hour wind report at a home weather station in Brownlee, Nebraska. All right, we will head over to northeast side of Colorado where it's pretty active. They did have one tornado warning over there. Nothing official, just radar indicated. So Eckley, you are in the severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like there was a report of 2-inch size hail reported in Yuma County by a train spotter. So definitely at least 2-inch size hail. Eckley, we have inch and a half ping pong size hail for Haxton and Holyoke. And from the west of that, Sterling, just to your southwest, you have ping pong size hail. In Brush, Colorado, ping pong size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour wind. Now, they did have the tornado warning down down toward Hugo. That's actually where Tornado Paige is. She is a storm chaser down there. So right now they have golf ball size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. So this looks like it is moving to the southeast. I know they had some pretty good rotation on this earlier. It did broaden out. We'll take a quick peek at velocities. Yeah, so no rotation in this cell anymore. All right, so if you are actually just even south of Lyman, Colorado, still have some pretty good size hail falling out there, 2.5-inch size. Um, 8 miles east of Matheson County, and that's in Elbert County. All right, we will jump We'll jump back over to the tornado warning in Missouri, just to the southeast of Kirksville. So still radar indicated. They're definitely broad. I mean, there is a little bit of rotation in here, but this is all moving to the southeast. All right, I think we have another severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see where that is. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning out in Colorado. This will cover Lyman and Hugo. These were actually just the cells we were just talking about in Lyman and Hugo. So looking at ping pong size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour wind gust in this area. And this is moving, looks like due east. We'll see what the speed on it is. So ping pong size hail up to 60 mile an hour. So this is moving east at 35. So east at 35 mile an hour. That will put it in Hugo. That'll put it in Hugo in about 25 minutes. Population 777. Or if you were in Hugo, you still have roughly about 20 minutes to get things hunkered down and put away. All right, we'll go back up to the north a little bit of that cell for half-dollar size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. Doesn't really look like anything is out in this location. It's pretty empty. So you have Highway 71 running right up through the middle of it, but maybe some open farmland, but there is nothing really out here. All right, we'll go back over to the severe thunderstorm warning just to the east of Yuma and Eckley, Colorado. This is size per quarter size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds in this location. Just to the north of that for Holyoke, ping pong size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds for this cell. So we're going to back out, head to north central Nebraska, just to the south of Ainsworth. So this cell is actually deteriorating pretty quickly. We did have lime size hail up to 2 inches in diameter with this cell back to the west, but seems to be diminishing. So they're just looking for up to quarter size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds for this cell. We'll see if there's still a hail core on this one. Not really. So really, I don't even believe this will be even quarter size hail, maybe penny to nickel size in this one. Let's see what the echo tops are. The cloud tops on this is roughly about 45,000 feet. So there may be some quarter size hail in here. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning. So it looks like they did just drop that warning in Nebraska. Like I was saying, it didn't look like it was quarter size hail anymore. All right, we're going to go back over to Missouri, still to the southwest of Kirksville, to the east of Macon. So we do have a possible tornado signature label on this. 1 inch size hail, which is a quarter, and up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. Definitely still some rotation up in this area here. So green, you have winds going toward the radar with green, and red are winds going away from the radar. Actually, it looks like more of the hook echo in this would actually be down in this area, down in here is where that would be. You have your inflow notch coming in for your inflow winds, and then your rotation would be actually down in here. Here's a new loop. Yeah, you can kind of see that. But according to the radar, it's actually up here is where you have the rotation. But definitely you can see down in here. Right, so this will be for another 20 minutes, and this is actually heading, I believe, to the southeast. Mm, yeah. Actually, this is moving east at 35 miles an hour. Beside Leonard, there is really nothing to the east of this. Leonard, you guys should be in your safe place at this time, in your basement or interior room of your home or building. Well, even on the last scan, uh, definitely rotation has broadened out a little bit. Not really a tight signature. All right, we'll head back over to. All right, so we do have another tornado warning for Colorado. This will be just to the south of Ray, Colorado. Looks like radar indicated up to 1 inch size hail. Right, so definitely rotation in this area right here. And this is actually moving to the east southeast. So in the path of this, it doesn't really look like Vernon. Sorry. So Vernon, if you are watching from Vernon, Colorado, or just south of Ray, being your safe place in your home, down in the basement, lowest level possible, away from windows. So this is actually move in. So southeast at 20 miles an hour. The rotation, the strongest part was in here. And so Vernon, it would be population of 0. It'll be over Vernon in 37 minutes. So there must not be anybody living in that town. Mhm. All right, we'll pan back out again. We'll head it back down to Lyman and Hugo, still recording ping pong size hail, up to 60-mile-an-hour winds in this location. Looks like we got a 3 inch. So storm spotter reported 3-inch size hail 7 miles southwest of Lyman, Colorado. That's in Elbert County. 3-inch size hail. That's pretty good. For everybody who's here so far, welcome in. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Hit that bell icon every time we go live here. You go live with us. So thanks for tuning in tonight. This will be severe weather coverage of Colorado, Nebraska, and Missouri. Things will really start to ramp up later on this afternoon in Nebraska. Um, Probably after basically 9, 10 o'clock, things will really start firing off. So we got a pretty long, active night ahead of us. So kick back. And if you're in one of these towns, appreciate you watching. Glad to keep you safe. And yeah, thanks for the support. We appreciate it. All right. So still have, uh, we still have that tornado warning just to the south of Ray, which there's zero population out here. So, best case scenario, even if there was a tornado, there would be nothing here. And there's actually some really good rotation actually in this. We don't have a debris ball yet on the ground, but there is definitely some strong rotation in this cell. Definitely in here, we have some pretty tight rotation. This is moving to the southeast. I believe it said like 35 miles an hour. So well south of Ray. So there is nothing in this area. There is no population. So best case scenario for this tornado is in the wide open. So definitely some strong rotation. And that's right where the end of that basically the hook would be down there. So you can clearly see the hook echo coming around this way. Then you have your inflow notch coming in here. So down in this area is where that tight rotation was. Exactly right where that is. So yeah, so thank goodness there's actually nothing out there. I don't even believe, and there's no CC drop. So either it's in the wide open space where there's no construction, or it's just not on the ground yet. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so they did just condense the severe thunderstorm warning just to the north of that tornado warning. So in Eckley, you are still in the severe thunderstorm warning up to quarter size hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. All right, north central Nebraska. Let me see. Brewster, you guys will probably be in the path of this cell coming down. So here's your outflow boundary where storms are going to start forming behind it. So probably have, PETA nickel size hail or marble to nickel size hail in here. Nothing severe at this time. kind of worried there for a little bit. Our Omaha Valley radar was actually down for quite a while. So for us Omaha people, I was waiting for this radar to come back up. If it didn't, I was going to have to use the Hastings radar to track our weather, but they got it up and going, so we're good there. Let's head back down to Missouri again, really quick on this tornado warning. So it would be south of Knox City. So this is actually an observed tornado. So there is a observed tornado on the ground. Let's see where that would have been. So definitely broadened back out, but it was probably right back in this area right here where they had that tornado was back here moving east. So thankfully, there's really nothing in the path of this heading east, but there was a storm spotter who um, did recognize it and was an observed tornado. And roughly has 10 minutes left on there. The rotation had broadened out. We'll see it for sure. That could have been. That's kind of where I was drawing earlier. All right, so there you go. Um, they went ahead and let it expire. I didn't see, where it would still be observed and on the ground. So I didn't think it was going to last that much longer. Yeah, so there is zero rotates. There's a little bit of rotation down here, but and they still do have a tornado possible signature on that. So where the rotation would be is in this area right here, very broad. Yeah. I mean, there's still a little bit of rotation, so we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see if another tornado warning comes out for it. It's got to wrap up a little bit more. All right, we will go back to Colorado. We'll go just to the south of uh Ray, where radar indicated tornado warning. There is no population in this area. Even though it says there is zero population here. So still have a pretty well-defined hook in here. Pretty good inflow notch. Definitely some strong winds. There's definitely rotation and strong winds in here. So we're looking at, 64, 65 mile an hour winds going toward the radar and just a little bit, you have 12, 13. So, you have a gate to gate of, roughly 80 miles an hour just in this area right here. So, definitely some broad rotation, but it's rotation. All right, so just to the north of that in Eckley, you guys are the only ones in the severe thunderstorm warning, and it is basically already passed, basically to your east. Quarter size hail up to 60 mile an hour winds, roughly for about another 37 minutes. So this is a pretty intense line of just extremely heavy rain out of here. Um, the rotation part, of course, as you see, just it moved on to the south of you guys. So you guys should be pretty good there. All right, we'll go back to this severe thunderstorm warning in Lyman, Colorado, and Hugo. Still have ping pong size hail and up to 60 mile an hour winds in this location. This is moving east. I forgot what it said. East at 30, east at 35 miles an hour. So one in this path is in Hugo. So Hugo, give it roughly about 15 minutes, and it'll be on your front doorstep. It's definitely, this is out in the middle of nowhere, but definitely has some really good rotation on it, or a clear hook. We'll wait for velocities to update on this next path, and we'll see if it's tighter rotation. Still no debris signature on the ground, so there is nothing definitely or definitively on the ground. All right, so that was the latest scan right there. We have roughly 20 mile an hour going away and 62, about 62. So we're looking at a little over 80 mile an hour shear on this. So if there was any population in Vernon, this is your rotation, slightly going east southeast, but they said that this was not a populated area. All right, so we'll take a quick peek at. So we see the one tornado warning there. The rest of the severe thunderstorm warnings is we have Knox, Missouri, and Shelby, Missouri. That was that possible tornado label signature, 1 inch size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Um, Same thing in Shelby, Missouri, Lincoln, Colorado, Elbert, Colorado, and Yuma, Colorado. You guys all have severe thunderstorm warnings. So while we have a quick second here, I will show you guys future model on the HRRR for this evening. All right, so it looks like they just came out with the 6 o'clock. Well, they should be coming out with 7 o'clock here pretty soon. So roughly 6 o'clock. This is kind of lining up on track with what we have. So there's 7, 8. So roughly about 10 o'clock, it's going to start firing just to the in between Grand Island and Lincoln. So by this time, Kearney, Grand Island, Hastings will definitely be covering you. Um, so there's 11, 12, 1. There's 2. By 2 o'clock, it's really going to start ramping up, heading northward into Lincoln, Omaha, basically where we had the severe weather this morning. Um, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a long active night, especially if we start getting severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings. You can believe that we're not going anywhere. We will stay live on the air as long as it takes. So be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and yeah, we'll be here. So here's 3 a.m. Probably finally starting to move out 4, 5, and by tomorrow morning, it'll all be moved out into eastern Iowa. It actually looks like a little bit of redevelopment, tomorrow late morning, up to the north. of Norfolk heading down. So we could get another slight shower, sprinkles late morning, but yeah, Omaha for us here is roughly, anytime really after 10 o'clock, we could start seeing some activity bubble up around 10, 11, 12. So, and these are pretty big cells too. I mean, you see the dark purple, even the blue. Um, so we could get some pretty large hail out of these. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think we are actually still in a 5%. Let me see if the SPC has uh, come out. All right, so here's just a 2%. You guys can't see that, sorry. So this is a 2% outlook for tornadoes for this evening. So, it cuts right like through Omaha down toward Lincoln southward. Um, so of course, tornadoes can form in and around, if there was a watch area. But a lot of it, northwestern Missouri, basically, half of Iowa going into Wisconsin and Illinois. You guys all have a 2% chance. And as you see over here in Colorado to the east of Denver and Pueblo, we still have a 2% risk chance of tornadoes too. Okay, so I'll show you the wind threat really quick. So wind threat definitely, we could definitely see some more winds here in Omaha. We don't need any more winds. I spent some of the day, we had damage from anywhere from 70 to 95 mile an hour winds that came through town earlier this morning that we were live for. We had tree damage ourselves, so spent a little time cleaning up today. And yeah, we'll still keep everybody safe this evening. So this is your wind damage, area more in the yellow, kind of where we don't want to be right now. And we'll go to the hail. All right, so Omaha, Lincoln, we could see some, severe hail later on this afternoon. Actually, it would be this evening. Down into toward Topeka and just to the west of Des Moines. So the biggest hail is where we've seen in this hatched area. So anything in the black hatched, we've seen 2, 3 inch, reported size hail in here already. So definitely Colorado is the hot spot for the extreme large hail, which is fine because we do not need it here. All right. Once again, welcome everybody to part two edition. We were live this morning at roughly about 4:45, 5 o'clock in the morning when our tornado sirens here in eastern Nebraska went off for destructive winds. We had winds upwards of 80 miles an hour come through town earlier. So yeah, we're still kind of recovering from that. I guess we really don't have any choice for later on tonight to where we could, possibly get the same things rolling in. I don't think it'll be as windy, but definitely, the flood threat is there. Heavy rain, still high winds. Whatever trees were damaged and didn't come down, earlier can definitely come down tonight. So we'll just have to wait and see. All right, let's go up to central Nebraska really quick. North central, just to the south of Ainsworth. This cell really hasn't really moved that much toward Brewster. All right. So it sounds like we have another severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah. So another severe thunderstorm warning down in Colorado. That would be just south of Hugo. So we do have another possible tornado symbol and golf balls size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. And there is definitely look echo going on there. I don't see strong rotation. We may be in a quick radar hold over there, but definitely a little bit of rotation that would be in there. Would definitely be in this area right here. But there's a little bit of rotation in there. That's why they're not putting a tornado warning out on this cell completely. There is a little rotation. It's still not a clear sign, but it would be right there. But definitely has some high cloud tops. I mean, we're looking, what are they saying? Golf ball size? I can believe that. Kind of anywhere you start seeing blue pixels coming back, which, all right, there it goes. Um, you're definitely seeing golf ball, if not larger size, hail in there. We'll see what the echo tops are on this one. So definitely looking over 50,000 feet with the echo tops. So yeah, definitely, probably at least golf ball size hail in here. Yeah, look at the size of that hail core. So definitely golf ball, if not bigger size hail in here. Definitely not strong rotation. There's a little of rotation, but nothing strong. Danielle, what's going on? Did you make it to your destination? Mm. So over in Missouri, we were covering a little bit. So there's still a tornado label signature on this cell. Um, there wasn't strong rotation at the time, and there's not strong rotation still. So yeah, nothing to worry about there. Oh yeah, eating pizza. Well, it's not good pizza, so all right, so we do have another severe thunderstorm warning, I believe that just came out. All right, so this is north central Nebraska, roughly central Nebraska. We are actually just talking about this. This is just west of Brewster. So they are calling for half-dollar size hail and up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. So the cloud tops on these probably pretty high. All right, so we're looking at roughly between 48 and 50,000 feet cloud tops on this. So yeah, pretty good half-dollar size hail. Pretty good. Zio's Pizza Buffet. They still have buffets. I thought buffets went out when COVID was here. All right. So if you are in Brewster, which I really don't know the population of Brewster. Let me see how fast this is going. Dun. So it looks like, yeah, it's only moving east at 20. That's why I didn't think the storm was moving that fast. We'll go ahead and put a track on it. We'll have it going through Brewster at 20 miles an hour. And all right, total population of Brewster is 17. So if you are one of those 17 people, um, stay away from windows, get in the interior part of your building because, $50 size hail, that can definitely hurt. So roughly have about 30 minutes until it gets into the Brewster area. Check back in later. Got to go to Walmart again. All right. Well, you be safe and yeah, absolutely. Check back in later on. Mm. All right. All right. So this severe thunderstorm warning will expire in roughly about 50 minutes. All right. We'll go back and we'll see if there's any strong rotation. So just to the south of Ray, Colorado. Oh, there is an observed tornado. I figured it was really tight rotation there. It could be a debris signature right here. It's not really picking up any like buildings, but definitely could be a debris signature there. Definitely it has broadened out. When you start to see, this, if any, it would be down here right now. So they may extend this tornado warning because this is the only spot down here really rotation would be, which that's just clean air down there unless the radar hasn't updated yet. Right there. We'll have to see if they expand this tornado warning. So it roughly has another 18 minutes on it. So they did just condense the severe thunderstorm warning just to the north of it. And it would definitely be in this area right here, have a strong hook echo coming down and an inflow notch coming in, which we could see all the white pixels, which means, really uh, definitely windy. So we have roughly 65 miles an hour going toward the radar. The rotation has definitely broadened out. So 53 definitely broadened out. All right. Let's see where that one is for. I don't see where that one is for. As we one in a state, Arizona. A severe thunderstorm warning for Greenlee, Arizona and Graham, Arizona. We'll shoot down there really quick. So under inch size hail. So this is more for 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. Crofton. If you are in Crofton, Arizona, expect just damaging winds coming into your area. Let's see where this is. All right, which radar site are we looking at? All right, we'll go to the one outside of probably Phoenix. All right, so if you are in Crofton, Arizona, this is actually probably approaching you right now. All right, there's the new radar site. All right, man, it's really not even moving that much. This is moving extremely slow. 5 miles an hour. So when I mean slow, I mean slow. All right, so this is really not moving that fast at all, if hardly any. So it's probably going to be sitting there for a while. So we'll keep an eye on it. Um, Probably massive amounts of rain. All right, we'll come back to the north. All right, we'll go back in to possible tornado signature, golf ball size hail, considerable damage of the 60-mile-an-hour plus winds coming in here. I mean, we definitely have the strong winds. So we have close to 70-mile-an-hour winds down here. All right, there's the new. Can't see what I'm doing. So a little bit of rotation going across Highway 71. I don't think there's nothing in this area. There's no population. There's no, there's nothing. So where it would actually be is the rotation would be in this area right here. Still moving east southeast. Yeah, so it would be actually like right over Highway 71, but unless you're driving on it, there is nobody out here. All right, here's another. All right, so I didn't think that they would expand this, like I was saying earlier. I didn't see strong, definite rotation, but they did put in severe thunderstorm warning for Halger, St. Francis, and Ray, which there probably is still a tornado possible label on this, but we'll see. And there is. So, possible tornado signature, golf ball size, hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. Let's see how fast this is still moving. All right, so it's moving east still at 30. So if you are in, is it Halgler, Hagler, probably Hagler. If you are in Hagler, Colorado, we'll see how long. So it would roughly, what I say, about 35 mile an hour. All right, so it will be in your neighborhood in about 13 minutes. So roughly 140 population. Well, if you are in Hagler, Colorado, expect strong gusty winds, at least golf ball size hail, and even a possible tornado signature, which that signature is basically would be staying down to your southwest. Right. So we have actually a pretty cool. Let me see if I can get over there. Try to give you guys a good, at least evening sunset. Mm. Give you guys one of those before our storms roll in for this evening. All right, once again, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. We usually go live for Nebraska, Colorado storms, Iowa storms, just storms here in the Midwest for at least this year as we get up and going and get our studio to where we want it. And then probably next, definitely next storm season, we'll be covering probably everywhere. So yeah, hit that like and subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Just push the channel out there to more people and helps us out, helps us keep people safe. All right, let's go back up to we'll go back up to north central Nebraska. That cell has not moved whatsoever. Still $half size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. If you're in Brewster, I mean it's just off to your northwest, but this cell is just not moving. If it is, it may even go north of you. All right, let's take a quick peek. We'll go down to Omaha's weather right now. So right now we're sitting at 82 degrees, feels like 90. We have a dew point of 76 degrees, which is down 10 degrees from yesterday. It was horrible here yesterday. But regardless, it still feels like 90 degrees. We had a peak wind gust here, which damaged my tree at roughly about 65 miles an hour. So we were, believe it or not, on the lighter side, but we had wind gusts anywhere from 60, 70 to 90 plus mile an hour winds today. We did have 14 tenths of an inch this morning, early morning. Humidity is up 20% at 81. So yeah, it still feels sticky warm out. Right. We're probably looking for these storms to start kind of developing, and you know, these are the ones that we're going to be watching. The ones out toward Imperial and just south of North Platte. These storms are going to be rushing eastward. Here, like I said, this is only 7 o'clock. We're going to be here for quite a while. Um, Once you start hitting, Lexington, uh, Cozad, Holdridge, Kearney area in here. this is really just going to explode with thunderstorms. This whole, it could be Omaha South, um, slowly pushing northeastward once it get into here. So it could be an interesting uh, late night, for, needless to say. So we'll see what happens. Man, look at all that. That's impressive. Out toward Imperial, that is a lot of lightning. So definitely some unstable air. Really pretty soon they will actually probably do a severe thunderstorm warning for this area out here. I don't know if we're in a watch or not. Mhm. We'll put a severe thunderstorm watch box up just in case they do. All right. So they do have a severe thunderstorm watch box for north central going to western Nebraska through North Platte, going into northeastern Colorado down toward probably just to, is Colorado Springs in it? Yeah, Colorado Springs, Fountain Security. You guys are all in the severe thunderstorm warning. And this is for, let's see how long, for roughly about another 3 hours, 2 hours and 50 minutes. Would be what, 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock tonight. So we'll have to see if they expand, which I know they will. This will get pretty interesting out here. Um, southeast Nebraska, eastern Nebraska. It'll get yeah, we'll start to see it later on. All right, we're gonna get the watch box off of there. All right, so really we just have the one warning in Nebraska. We have the one warning in Colorado, one warning in Missouri, and probably the one down in Arizona. We don't have, yeah. All right, which one is that? All right. So, possible tornado label signature, large apple-sized destructive hail in this cell right here. Actually, where tornado page is. So, this is like crazy. So, this is large apple-sized hail, destructive in this cell right now. I don't think there's anybody. Pumpkin Center. I don't know if that's a town. I hope there's no like population there, because we have some big time hail just to the east of Highway 71 and just to the north of Highway 94. But this is giant size hail. Curious what the zones are. So 53, 54, 54. So roughly 54, 55,000 feet cloud tops on here. I mean, yeah, that's booming cloud tops.
If this thing dies, we're gonna go measure it immediately. It just got a bigger core. jumping.
So they are actually in, they are probably driving, I don't know if they're driving toward it or away from it. We'll see. All right, so they're driving south of this hail core. Because we're talking large apple size that will totally just destroy their vehicle. Even though their vehicle's already destroyed from a few weeks ago. Yeah, that will definitely just crush your windshield. All right, so here comes a live radar scan coming in. Has two definite, definite hail cores in this one. Look at the integrated liquid. All right, so this hasn't updated yet, but this is huge. I mean, that is a massive hail core um, symbol. So extremely large hail in here. It just hasn't updated to down here yet. All right, we'll go back up here toward Ray, Colorado again. Looks like we have a storm report. I might have already read this. Train spotter estimating 50 to 55 miles per hour winds, and that was in Yuma County in Colorado, so 3 miles northeast of Vernon. All right, so another warning just came out. Let's see where that is. All right, like the last county possible in Missouri that you can get. So Quincy, I believe you're probably actually Quincy is in Illinois. So Palmyra, sorry, can't speak. Palmyra, um, really no hail. All that's going to be affecting you is strong gusty winds and looks like some heavy rain. So if you're in Palmyra, just expect about 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts coming through. Looks like the heaviest rain may actually stay to your north, but you might catch a quick, you know, wind gust from the south end of this cell. So this will be for roughly about 30 more minutes. This will be for 13 more minutes, just to the west. Once again, they're not really showing any hail. This is more of a wind threat pushing through. If you can see a little bit, it does look like a little bit of bowing out right here. So along this line going toward Quincy, you'll probably be seeing, at least 60-mile-an-hour winds in there. All right. We're definitely getting some storms starting to fire just to the north of Grand Island. So just to the west of Columbus and to the north of St. Paul. Having some few showers pop up. And this may be the start of the general line that's really going to form this whole eastern, southeastern Nebraska area. We'll definitely have to wait and see. This is kind of what the models were showing, and then it'll definitely explode more down here to the south and then work more to the east. It could be northeast. We'll have to wait to see uh, what these do. And it's still a ton of lightning out toward Imperial. All right, so moving to the east of Imperial, next in line, if this keeps, pushing, could go east, northeast a little bit. So Gothenburg, Kozad, Lexington, and Holdridge. It'll probably still be, at least an hour or so. But you're definitely in line with this. And then after Holdridge, Kearney, Minden, Wood River, and Hastings. So it looks like so far this is staying, south of I-80. So we'll see if it stays south or we'll keep this camera view, sky cam pointing to the west because a lot of these storms are going to start firing to the west and we'll be able to see it from here. But yeah, so far it's a pretty cool sunset. All right, still, we'll see if this has even moved any closer to Brewster. Oh, there's a pretty good cell just to the west of this one. This one doesn't look as impressing as it did. I don't believe there's really half-dollar size hail in here anymore. So if you're in Brewster, I think this cell's going to stay to your north. Is crossing Highway 7 right now, but I think you're pretty safe. All 100 and whatever the population was there. But yeah, I think you're good. And one thing we need to start looking at is just to the east of Mullen. Okay, so kind of just what I thought. They just went ahead and let this expire. I didn't see why that severe thunderstorm warning was still there because I just didn't see anything. And sure enough, they just let it drop. But see what these winds are right here. So not as strong as I thought. 35. Right. Roughly about 35 mile an hour wind gusts in there. So not as quick as I thought it was. But probably definitely some people to pea to marble size hail just to the northeast of Mullen, Nebraska. Wouldn't be surprised with a little bit of hail in these where it's purple shown. Right, so no active severe thunderstorm warning in Nebraska anymore. So we still have the three. Well, actually, I lied to you. In this very, very corner of Nebraska to the west of Ray, Colorado, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. So they did put a tornado possible label signature on this because I think that's the one, yeah, that's one before that was observed. So if you're in Hagler, is that actually in Nebraska? I think it is. Hagler, Nebraska, and St. Francis. This is actually in Kansas. So we have Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas all right here at this corner. All right, so let's see what this still has in store. So, still the possible tornado label, large apple size, destructive, severe thunderstorm, and that is, I don't believe anything was in here. It's probably roughly crossing Highway 94 just to the east of 71. All right, so this is moving east southeast, but there is like nothing out here in its path. This is wide open farmland, if it is farmland, but there's nothing out here. All right, so really only six severe thunderstorm warnings so far. We'll go back out here to Missouri really quick. So it'll be just to the west of Quincy. Still looking at just the 60-mile-an-hour winds. This must be like moving really slow too. That's moving east at 30. So Quincy, you should be expecting this roughly in about so West Quincy 7 minutes, Quincy about 13 minutes. So actually, it's quite a population out there. So population for over 44,000, almost 45,000 people. So I didn't think it was that populated, but it is. Right. So we'll have to see what that does. I mean, like I said, there's no hail. This is, heavy rain and gusty winds. All right. So they did just put out a new severe thunderstorm warning for Quincy, Minden, Camp Point, and Payson in Illinois. So still no hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds are in this cell. Let's see where this other one just came in. Right. So a new severe thunderstorm warning for that exact same cell we were just talking about earlier, down where tornado Pagey was. Definitely a gust front outflow boundary. It's trying to hold along there. So definitely a little bit more rotation, broad rotation, but you'd be looking down in this notch area right here. You have to get the latest scan to see when velocities update. Right. So there's velocity just updated. So have a little bit of rotation. Even that's really just like, so it would be in here, but that is very broad. So not really seeing anything tightening at all in that. Some massive hail. I will give this cell definitely some massive hail up there. What was this again? Golf ball? I think it's actually bigger than golf ball size hail. So if you are right along Highway 94, I would at least just pull off, let this, pass down to your south. And that is definitely some big hail. All right. Um, Geez, I wish things would really start to get going. Got a gnat flying around in here. Right. So nothing yet for north central Nebraska. Do see quite a bit of lightning up there, but right now it's everything is under severe limits. South of North Platte to the east of Imperial. Um, just thunder, lightning, and heavy rain so far. Nothing severe there. We'll switch to Omaha Valley radar. Um, I'm gonna get them sooner or later. Mhm. All right, seeing a little bit of purple, so storms are definitely intensifying out to the west, just to the east of St. Paul, to the west of Central City, north of Grand Island. Looks like some spotty showers are trying to start up, you know, just to the west of Omaha. We'll see what those come up with. But later on, this is really the convergent point down here for storms. I mean, this will really blow up later down here. I mean, it definitely looks good for later on. Definitely around, 10, you know, 9, 10, 11 o'clock in there is when it'll really start to explode. Northern Kansas, south central Nebraska, moving to southeastern Nebraska, moving up into eastern Nebraska. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. We kind of popped on here a little early because we thought really things were going to start getting going over in north central Nebraska. Did have a few severe thunderstorm warnings up there. Then we started getting some tornado warnings in Colorado and Missouri. We figured we'd just go on, you know, live a little bit sooner than expected, but yeah, it's all good. We'll definitely be here until they get going and move through. All right, so have a weather update over on the Missouri side. just to the west of Quincy. Looks like 1 mile southwest of Maywood, Missouri. Marion County ambulance at Highway 6, Marywood, let's see, Maryland, had to pull over due to estimated 70 plus mile an hour winds, zero visibility and trees with heavy rain. All right. Oh, trees with heavy lean. All right. So it's basically blowing the trees to the side. So this is per the ambulance service over there in Marion County. So yeah, pretty intense winds over there. And that's kind of what I was saying with that little bow echo. You know, anybody ahead of that bow is going to see some pretty good winds, and looks like they did. So now it looks like it's basically crossing the border from Missouri into Illinois and West Quincy. You should be experiencing those strong winds as we speak. All right, another severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see where that's for. Right. Looks like it's back out toward Colorado again. Well, it looks like it's just west of where the initial severe thunderstorm warning was. So it looks like lime size hail, that's 2 inch size hail, up to 60 mile an hour winds. If you are definitely underneath this, definitely considerable damage to vehicles, homes, humans. Right. So they're talking the purple cell right here. So looking at basically lime size hail. And even there, it doesn't look like anything is in its path. This is in the wide open. It'll be crossing Highway 71 and basically taking the same path. Highway 71 or crossing over Highway 94 as this cell is right here. Definitely a little bit tighter rotation on this right here. We'll kind of check it out with reflectivity again and see if it kind of matches up, which it does. So I would not be surprised if they do, or if they don't put out a tornado warning for this, because it's definitely tighter rotation right in this area. Now, there's absolutely nothing out here. So this would be a good place for a tornado, but uh, yeah, regardless, definitely the inflow notch is there. So definitely some tighter circulation right there. We'll definitely have to wait to see what that does. We'll see if they do put out a tornado warning on this. There's 17 and 15, so there's some definite rotation in there. Let's wait and see. I'd like to see what the next scan shows. Yeah, I'm actually really surprised they don't have a warning out for this one. Mhm. So rotation, definitely rotation, but it is broad in that area. So when you start to see the gray pixels, go in between the red and the green, it's broad rotation. Still lines up, but it is broad. So you have to wait and see what they do with that. All right, let's take a quick peek up here. It looks like just your normal garden variety thunderstorms up in north central Nebraska. Kind of see where the alpha boundary, the gust front is right there. Right. So it looks like they're putting out a tornado warning for Missouri going into Illinois. So this has been the same cell that we were talking about earlier. So this is just to the north of Quincy. This will be for Minden, Illinois, and just to the west of Camp Point. So this is radar indicated. See, they say this is right. So this would be right here, a little bit bigger, but it's right in this where the greens and the reds combine. So this would definitely be rain wrapped. So this you would never see this. So this would be north of Quincy. So this would be for Minden and just to the west of Camp Point. Right in there. And this would be moving probably east northeast. We can get a timeline on this one. Uh, moving east at 25. This was actually moving east. We'll just put it kind of northeast and we'll track it through Minden. Um, what did I say? Was it 25? All right, so Rock Creek will be with you in 16 minutes. Ursa, 22 minutes, and Minden, 33 minutes. Yeah, 25 miles an hour. Hey, Connie, welcome in. How are you, hon? Hope everything is good with you. And so it looks like they do in that same tornado warning. Looks like they had 65-mile-an-hour wind gust 2 miles northwest of Quincy. So that would be in Adams County. And this was by Adams County spotter reported 65-mile-an-hour wind gust. Once again, this was ahead of that system that I was telling you that it was going to bow out and could get 60 plus mile an hour winds. Mm. I just got maybe a tree down before next storm. Did that get damaged in this last storm, or did it get damaged this morning, or did you guys just cut it down because it needed cut down? I've been pumping water out of the basement most of the day. We got it down and just keeps filling back up wherever it got damaged. Okay. Did your basement get flooded this morning? Why are you guys pumping water out of your basement? The house. Oh, the tree. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, these new subdivisions, all of our power lines are actually below ground. The older subdivisions, out here, uh, everything's still above ground. So, all right, I think we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's find out where it is. Uh, Everyone's basement here has water. Really? All right, new severe thunderstorm warning once again, just north of the last severe thunderstorm warning. So this would be for Hugo, ping pong size hail, up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. All right, so this will be for this purple cell out here, moving toward Hugo. We'll see how fast this is actually moving. So it's moving east at 25. Seems like all of these are moving like at 25. All right, so we'll just put a kind of a track on here just in case you live in Hugo. 25 mile an hour. All right, so Hugo, it'll be there in like 45 minutes. Clifford, be there in little over an hour. Model sites on river bottom. The water table must be pretty high. Oh, yes, I didn't know that about that area. Just north of Mole Valley. I didn't know that. All right, so once again, Hugo roughly a little over 45 minutes and Clifford 63 minutes. So it'll be a little while before it gets there. All right. All right, so a new storm report just came in. Looks like 1 inch size hail. Looks like the corner of the extreme corner of Nebraska. So this is for Hagler, Nebraska, Dundee County for 1 inch size hail. Law enforcement estimated 1 inch hail, 40 to 45 to 50-mile-an-hour winds. All right, so welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is like part two. We covered early morning this morning here in eastern Nebraska for the destruction wind coming through the area. Now this is basically part two. It'll be a late night. They storms really won't start going until maybe 10, 11 o'clock tonight, and then they're really going to fire up. Northern Kansas, southeastern Nebraska, eastern Nebraska. Storms will really start firing up later on. So we'll be here to keep everybody safe tonight and, give you guys the latest. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Just sends the channel out to more people that, even early this morning, you know, local guys weren't on. So where do you go? You go to YouTube and find the Omaha guy. So that's what we do here. So hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll definitely get you through the night. Mm. All right, so storms are actually starting to pop here in Nebraska. Let's go up toward Fremont. They looked a little bit impressive out, but closer to the radar to Fremont, not as impressive. Couple of showers out there. And then if we head back toward just to the north of Central City, Fullerton, St. Edward, just to the south of Albion, have family out in this area too. So, like to keep everybody safe. So, yeah, share the stream. If you know somebody in Nebraska, Colorado, Missouri today, send them my link, send them the stream. Our number one priority is to keep people safe. We had, those winds came through this morning and went through a couple of campgrounds here in eastern Nebraska, actually killed a couple of campground people. Not sure if the tree came down on their tent or camper, but we do know a lot of campers were tipped over and rolled due to these winds. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the families and friends of these um, people who have passed in the windstorms earlier today in eastern Nebraska. So definitely a sad situation, and we try to keep people safe by doing these live broadcasts. So push the stream out to people, and let's get people notified. All right. Let's see. Boy, this, you get to the radar site down here, everything looks pretty impressive far away. All right, let's go back to this tornado warning that's actually probably crossing. The roof collapsed at Dollar General warehouse in Blair this morning. Everyone got out safe. Yeah, I think you had said that earlier. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad everybody got out up there. Valley, Blair. once again, they took it hard. They had 90 plus mile an hour winds up in that area. So it was definitely a windy morning. Right. This is radar indicated still. Let's see if we actually see anything. Really, we don't. This is extremely broad rotation. They may let this just go because there is nothing here. Now, once again, if you're still in this warning and you're watching me, still be in your safe place. It's very, there's really nothing out here, very broad. So hopefully they'll let this um, not expire. They'll just take it off before the expiration time. So it says 35 minutes. So until they do, we'll just kind of wait and see. And actually, look at that. As soon as I said something, they took it away. So yeah, definitely. So perfect timing. I just didn't see anything there that warned a tornado warning. Hmm. All right, so we got a new warning. Let's see where that's for. I believe it's actually this one. Um, Basically still in the corner of Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas. This will be for quarter size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, definitely a lot of lightning in this one. This is the one with the 1 inch size hail in it. Let's see how fast this one's moving. Probably the same, like 25 miles an hour, 25, 35. How close am I? Oh, this is moving at 45. So this one's moving at a pretty good clip. So we have, hazard 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter size hail moving at 45 miles an hour. So this one's this one's hitting the gas a little bit. So we could probably see right along this line right here. It's not much, but a little bowing out. So definitely could see some definite some wind gusts ahead of this. So the only place that really I see ahead of this is probably Goodland, Kansas, which is right here. St. Francis, I mean, you're in it now, but in the long haul, Bird City, McDonald, you guys will be seeing some pretty gusty winds here before too long, and it'll be going across the radar site down here. So yeah, we'll see. Right, so have a little lightning bolt. I say little, but definitely had a lightning strike just to the west of Fremont and to the south of Schuyler. So, cells are starting to form, they're starting to pop. We'll take another quick peek at right now live West Omaha weather. We have a temperature of 81 degrees, still feels like 87. Dew point's at 76, so dew point's pretty high. We did have that wind gust, early this morning, roughly here at about 65 mile an hour, more toward the north, definitely upwards 70, 80, 90 mile an hour wind gust up there. So I guess we were pretty lucky down here just to get like 65 mile an hour winds. Some other people weren't so lucky. Um, Still had 14 tenths of a inch of rain, and humidity is pretty high. I mean, we're sitting at 85%, roughly about 20% higher than yesterday. So, Yeah, you see a pretty cool sunset there in the distance, looking out to the west. And we'll be looking more, toward the west and uh southwest, here before too long, waiting for these storms to start firing and coming in. So this this area down in here is really going to see some activity start to explode, you know even portions down here into Kansas. I mean, this whole area is gonna start seeing some storms fire anytime basically after 10 o'clock. They'll really start to fire off. All right, so we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's find out where that is. Where is it? Let me guess, down in Arizona. Honestly, I don't see it. All right, because it is actually a flash flood warning. Now, we're going to take these like really serious. So, this flash flood warning is for Charleston, South Carolina. Really? All right, let's take a quick peek. Well, for some reason, you are watching me from South Carolina. Turn around, don't drown. Even though you may think you know the road that you're driving on, but you have no clue what is underneath that water. That road could be washed out. There could be a sinkhole. If you cannot see the road, do not drive over it. Too many deaths. You put first responders at risk because we have to come and save you. Yeah, so turn around, don't drown. Let's see. So they just posted this. So really for about another 3 hours. So they must have seen excessive heavy rains out here and kind of put this in motion. We'll see. So yeah, definitely onshore flow. Yeah, they've seen a lot of rain. So yeah, turn around, don't drown. That is my advice for always. All right, we'll go back to the large apple destruction. Right. So once again, tornado possible signature, large apple size, destructive thunderstorm. This is, well, it's in eastern Colorado where there is nothing out here. So it's west of Kit Carson. Sorry about that. So this is west of Kit Carson, and let me tell you, there's really nothing out here. So we have, let me see, 3.2 inch in diameter in Lincoln County by a storm chaser. And that's actually where Tornado Pagey is out there, but she is definitely south. She is definitely not going to get inside this hail core. That will just destroy her windshield and, yeah, put them out of commission for the day. And we're going to switch back to this this one right here. All right, still the severe thunderstorm warning for Hugo. Um, just to the west of you, ping pong size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. So it's still going to take a little bit to get to you. I mean, probably now is roughly probably 55 minutes, as this is moving awfully slow. Okay, so just to the east of Cozad, or actually in Cozad, Cozad down just to the north of McCook, little line, starting to form. over there. There's a little bit closer sight on that. Definitely a line starting to form. Getting a little bit more pop up, bubbling and storms still to the north of Central City. These aren't really, I'll put this into motion. So it definitely is going northeast. We'll have to wait and see. We're still waiting on it's a little bit after 8 Central Time here. We're still waiting for storms to really start to get going, down here toward Beatrice, Fairbury, down in, Maryville, Kansas. This is where, the activity will start to fires down here. So we're waiting for the first bloop or blip down here. And then it should start to take off. Right, so in Thedford, so Thedford is where the NWS is for our radar site. So basically, these storms are basically going right over the radar site. So it won't pick it up completely because it's actually too close when the beam goes out. It shoots it right back, but as it goes around Doppler, basically, it can't pick up the full storm effect. So but yeah, definitely just to the east of Mullen, Nebraska, is where these storms are right now. Back out a little bit. Once again, if you're new to the channel, thanks for tuning in. Be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and also the bell icon. Every time we go live, we want you to go live with us. So, yeah, thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll definitely keep you safe tonight. We're gonna be here for a while, so um, yeah, kick back, relax, and let's talk some weather. Uh, do you do Facebook? Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Uh, under Stormy Steve One, which is it's all one word. Stormy Steve One. Got pics of the lake in my yard. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'll have to check those out. Yeah. All right, we have another severe thunderstorm warning. Let's scroll back down. Seems like Colorado is definitely the hot spot right now. All right, so this is actually just to the east of Colorado Springs, just to the northeast of Fountain and Security, Colorado. Um, Used to live down in this area. I was stationed at Fort Carson for 4 years. We'll take a quick peek on what's going on. So Ellicott, so quarter size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. Not sure what direction this is actually moving. Probably is it east or northeast? So 27 miles east of Colorado Springs, moving northeast at 55. So This storm is actually moving at a pretty good clip. All right, so we have a new severe thunderstorm warning for this complex of cells down here. Ping pong size hail, up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. Um, we have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings for everything down here. Right, we'll see where that one is now. All right, so it looks like another new severe thunderstorm warning just to the west of Ray, Oklahoma again. Um, let's look at that one. Another pretty good cell, quarter size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. Expires in about 35 minutes. So when it says 35 minutes and this short of a box right here, this polygon, it's not moving fast. It's just kind of sitting right there. Yeah, roughly about 15 miles an hour. So when it's that small and it takes that long, it's not moving at all. So quarter size hail definitely was reported. Yep, I did actually get them. Um, Thanks for sending those. I'll actually check those out right now. Right, Ray, Colorado, not Oklahoma. That's what I said. I didn't say Oklahoma. No, we have nothing in Oklahoma, so I would never say Oklahoma. There is nothing down here. Now we did have a severe thunderstorm warning down actually in the extreme panhandle over here, just to the west of Guyman uh, earlier. But yep, nope. All of these storms are Colorado, Nebraska, and actually Missouri based. But they're looks like they're out of Missouri and crossing over into Illinois. So tonight is basically going to be probably Colorado, Kansas later on, northern Kansas, um, eastern Nebraska, southwest or south eastern Nebraska. This whole area later on after 10 o'clock is going to blow up with some storms. So yeah, we'll be here for the long run. And so they put out that severe thunderstorm warning because the other polygons that were wrapped around these storms were about ready to expire. So they did add the two new ones for ping pong size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. And this one is still the 3-inch large apple size destructive. Now they just expanded this one. A new severe thunderstorm warning is just coming out for tennis ball size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So this cell is actually moving probably due east. I didn't see exactly how fast. It's probably not that fast. So about 35 mile an hour. So once again, there's absolutely nothing out here, wide open space. Um, in the path of this, way down the road is Kit Carson. That's pretty far down the line. That's over an hour away. So, mm, all right. Oh, I was gonna look at those pictures really quick. Oh, Connie, was all this flooding from this morning's rain? I mean, you guys did get quite a bit of rain up there. I mean, I think it exceeded, I think about 4 inches up there. So yeah, these are now I know the rate. Now I know the reason why. Hey, there's a little funnel right there. I didn't even see that. It's kind of cool. Hmm. But yeah, I assume that was from this morning. You guys got a pretty good swath of rain going up through there. I mean, upwards of like 4 inches, 4 inches in some places. So yeah, you hear thunder? Let me take a quick peek and see what you're hearing. Oh, you probably are hearing thunder. Just to the north of Mo Valley. No, you're right there. Yeah, you have a couple of little isolated, showers probably around you. You could be. Yes, yeah. I figured it was from this morning. I wonder if I can bring up the total. Let me see if it'll still show. Yeah, so here's a pretty good example for Connie. Um, we're gonna bring up exactly where you live, and then I'm gonna give you radar. Yeah, okay. So we're looking at still over 3 inches of rain, up there where you are. Some of these pixels are, you know, 4 inches. So the swap of rain that happened this morning was, yeah, incredible, and you just happened to be like in the center of that. Up toward Blair, once again, upwards of 4 inches of rain. It was pretty crazy morning. The funnel was a couple weeks ago from a non-storm. Really? That's pretty cool. Well, anyway, this kind of just shows the rain path from this morning. I mean, from Seward, going up through Wahoo, Utan Valley, Arlington, Blair, Missouri Valley, uh, Modale. Yeah, I mean, you guys saw some insane rains this morning. So not surprised it was wet. Yeah, it was definitely wet. I'm going to see a little bit more purples just to the north of McCook's, southwest of Lexington in Nebraska. This is definitely trying to go. I mean, you can definitely see line right there, but this is where the activity, where we're waiting for later on is down in this area. So it should start to happen, somewhere around the 10 o'clock range, 10, 11 o'clock, somewhere in there. So we'll have to wait to see how this develops. And we'll keep looking at future cast to or the future models, see if they update it at all or see what they do. All right, so they're actually updating this now. So we'll probably come back. So there's midnight to, so they're kind of prolonging this now. So that's midnight, and things are kind of really getting active. Kind of what I was saying down toward Beatrice, Hastings, Grand Island, and then just Lancaster County and Lincoln. That's true. We'll have to see if this is just a heavy rain event, or if this will actually be some. severe thunderstorm warning producers. So we'll have to wait and see. That could be some pretty gusty winds if that bows out down in southeastern Nebraska, northeastern Kansas. That could definitely be some gusty winds pushing out. So we'll have to wait and see. And once again, these are only models. So, you know, they're not picking up really any of these storms that are firing right now from Omaha, Columbus, Fremont down towards St. Paul. It's not picking any of those up. So we'll just have to wait and see. It can stay south of me. Had enough. I mean, yeah, you guys have had enough. But unfortunately, I think sooner or later it will make its way, north northeast throughout the night. So we're all going to pick up probably some good amounts of rain overnight. Um, yeah, once again, like I just keep saying, we'll have to see because it's not picking up on any of this shower and thunderstorm activity. So if that really develops, further to the north of what they're saying, I mean, it'll really, come into here. So if this is initiation basically up here, we could see, Kearney, Grand Island, York, Omaha, Lincoln, all that could actually form up here instead of further south. So we'll have to wait and see. Almost like they keep changing the models every hour. Every single time it comes in, something is different. Once again, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate you tuning in tonight for basically part two. Part one was extremely early this morning here in eastern Nebraska with 60, 70, 80, 90 mile an hour wind gust coming through town, damaging a lot of trees, a lot of power outages. So that was part one that started at about 4:50, 5 o'clock this morning. Um, so yeah, hit that like and subscribe button. Even the bell icon, when I go live, uh, it's, you know, definitely for a reason, and you need to hop on and see what's going on. So appreciate all the support out there. All right, so it looks like we do have a weather report that came in out of this cell down in St. Francis, Kansas. So looks like over 70 mile an hour wind gusts. What was it? 71 mile an hour. So 4 miles west northwest of Bird City in Cheyenne, Kansas. 4 miles west northwest. Bird City. All right. So here's Bird City, 4 miles west northwest. So yeah, basically right where that was. All right. Another severe thunderstorm warning down in Colorado. Probably one is about ready to expire, so they are putting another one out. So this has 6 minutes left. So they went ahead and put this new one on. So 2 inch size hail, which is lime size, 60 mile an hour winds with considerable damage if you are underneath this cell. So if I were you, I would not be underneath this cell. Once again, it's slowly moving to the east. I believe probably 15 miles an hour moving east. So it's not moving that fast. All right, let's see where this other warning just. All right, we were actually just talking about this. So once again, we're that 71 mile an hour wind gust. Let me see. This only has 5 minutes left on it, so they put out a new warning. Uh, there you go. Quarter size hail, 70 mile an hour winds now with considerable damage. So this is a lot of a wind threat around here. So you can see the outflow boundary just to the south of it. So definitely along this line right here, you're going to see some gusty winds. What's up, Casey? Once again, this was, what did I say? 25 miles an hour. So this is actually moving east southeast at 25. So these storms are just not moving fast. At least a lot of these aren't. I think there was one cell. I thought it was actually this. Forgot which cell it was. That was moving like 55 miles an hour. I mean, it was hauling. I think it was this one outside of Colorado Springs, if I remember right. This storm was actually moving at a pretty good clip. All right, so it kind of slowed down to 20. But if I remember right, this one was moving at like 55 miles an hour earlier. So have another pretty good. We have a little blue spot on there, which means extremely high cloud tops, which now that I talk about it, it disappears. Um, so yeah, probably some pretty good size, at least ping pong size hail in there. So this is just to the north of Ellicott and to the east of Colorado Springs. It's definitely a line of storms. So if all these went like right across each other, which it almost looks like it is, that's called training. When storms just go right after one another and dump massive amounts of rain. It's called training. And you could see massive flooding in any of these places. So if there's water over roads, you know, turn around, don't drown. Seriously. Um, you put first responders at risk by trying to go out and save you when you didn't need to cross that road. So, yeah, definitely be smart with this excessive rain out here. All right. Let me see. Here's the Goodland, Kansas radar. Once again, moving through St. Francis, and this is like just dumping some rain. I don't know if we can get a rain total or just over the last hour. No, they haven't updated anything. So let's see. All right, so we can do a total.